What is drawing everyone's attention to Northport? That is something that I've been getting asked quite frequently here lately, so I decided to make a little bit of a video about it. Why so many people are actually deciding to move into the Northport area. Actually, in fact, they look at Sarasota and then they decide to buy a house here in Northport. So why all of a sudden are people deciding to move to Northport versus Sarasota, and how is that being affected here in this current ever-changing real estate market that we have here? So today we are going to be jumping into my computer and I'm going to be giving you an entire map breakdown of the city of Northport, what makes it so attractive, what are some things you can do there, and why people are actually moving there to build new construction houses. So with that being said, let's jump straight into my computer. So now that we're into my computer, let's start discussing kind of the 5 major reasons why so many people are deciding to move to Northport, as that's kind of the topic of conversation here in this video. And the first one is really going to relate to the overall price range, right? Because as we see here, we are going to be, this is Northport, right? This is the city of Northport, that's the city limits. So if we scroll out here and if we look up into the Sarasota area, right, you can see a lot of it's built out. The problem with that is that there's such a huge high demand in Sarasota right now that it has been driving real estate prices through the roof. Like right now, our average price point here in Sarasota is like $498,000, almost $500,000. That's the median home price. And here in Northport, the median home price is only $382,000. So as you can see there, it's a significantly lower amount. It's more affordable in Northport. And that has kind of been one of the leading factors of the reasons why so many people are deciding to look at Northport, because they look at Sarasota, they're like, we're not paying these real estate prices for the house that we're looking for. So they either head 1 to Northport, 2 to Port Charlotte, 3 to Parrish, and even Parrish has been getting built out. So now people are just starting to really focus in on Northport for that reason. And then the second reason why so many people are deciding to move to the Northport area is because there's a little bit more flexibility when it comes to building a house. The reason why I say that, and it's going to piggyback off of the third point here about Northport, is that since Northport doesn't really have many HOAs and Sarasota does, so Sarasota's HOAs, there's a lot of HOAs. They have a lot of tract home builders like Neil, MI Homes, DR Horton, and those kind of style builders, right? And they all have their HOAs, so you have to build with those builders. Oftentimes, they don't give you the selection that you need if you are looking to build a custom house. And that's kind of the downside here, what people are seeing here with these tract home builders in Sarasota, at least. So that's why people like Northport, is because you can go out, you can buy and purchase a piece of land here in Northport. And I've been doing that for several investors here that are going to start building a lot of houses. Is that we're purchasing these lots for around $25,000 a lot. So that's a quarter acre, 10,000 square feet. They're 80 by 125 feet wide. And some of them back up to canals, freshwater canals. Other ones just back up to another lot. So there's a lot of flexibility. Like if we zoom in here, you'll be able to tell there's not as many houses here. As we scroll into these streets, all this green space is stuff that still needs to be developed into houses. As you can see, these streets are, pretty well open, right? And that's what a lot of people don't see, is Northport is ripe for opportunity when it comes to building custom houses. Because say, let's just look into Venice. This Venice area, you can see a lot of houses are already built up in that area, right? So that takes out that demographic for building custom houses. Here in Sarasota, you see a lot of houses already being built and not hardly any vacant lots left, right? So that's the reason why. And plus, these lots here in Sarasota are a minimum of $150,000, $160,000 for a small, less than a quarter acre size lot. Some are very skinny and long, and then some are typical, like a square, right? So that's kind of what we have in Sarasota. But back into this Northport section, like we said, there's a lot of area for development. Like we're just going down these streets, you can see there's so many houses that can be built on these streets. So that's why there's so many people that are when they're looking to build a custom house and they don't want to be in an HOA community and they want to choose their builder here in Northport. That's why they go to Northport, basically, just for the flexibility. And that's kind of why we also started a development company, also a home building company too, to really help people, go all the way from acquiring a lot to grabbing their keys to their brand new house. So that's kind of why our synergy for starting to build custom houses here in Northport kind of really came about. And then the third thing, and kind of what we talked about earlier, was this is going to be that Sarasota has HOAs, Northport does not have any HOAs. So what you'll see is that that's another reason, because HOAs in Sarasota can be $300, $400, $500 a month, and you're basically getting a pool, fitness center, stuff like that. It's great, right, to have community amenities such as that, but you also have a lot of more tighter rules and restrictions regarding that. And so that's another reason why people don't really like being in HOAs, because it's very restrictive. Here in Northport, you own your own lot free and clear. You don't have any regulations to go by besides the city, right? And the county. Those are your only regulations. You don't have any HOA to deal with, any monthly payments for HOA, nothing. So that's the third reason why people don't really, that's why they're gravitating more towards that Northport area. And the fourth reason is the growth potential. So as I've shown you here, there's a lot of room for growth for building new construction here in Northport. There's so many different areas you can develop and build houses and build your primary house, or even build investment properties too. And like I said, the growth potential is definitely there. And actually, U-Haul did a report for 2021, and Northport was the fourth area in the entire United States that had the most U-Hauls going to it, right? So just to put that into perspective, that's the fourth city out of the entire United States, not just in Florida, out of the entire United States. Northport was number 4 on U-Haul's most traveled list, right? And to put it into a little bit more perspective, Sarasota was 10th. So Northport outranked them by several placements, right? So that just goes to show that so many people are looking into this Northport area for those given reasons. Is just the opportunity for growth, built-in equity, because right now house prices in Northport have increased over 40% year over year. So just to put that into perspective for you, a house last year would cost 300,000, a little bit more than that, but now it's up to 382,000 as an average price point. And so it's just showing in that growth, and as more houses start getting developed and stuff like that, obviously the prices will start to increase a little bit. And then the fifth and final thing is that there are very few Airbnb restrictions here in the city of Northport. And even though it is in Sarasota County, that's kind of what is attracting a lot of investors into Northport, is that there is barely any Airbnb restrictions. So as you guys know, or if you've seen my other videos, Sarasota County as a whole, they have a 30-day minimum, right? In Sarasota County, unless you're within the city of Sarasota, then it's a 7-day minimum. Here in Northport, since the city of Northport is rather large, they don't have any rules or restrictions on Airbnb at this time, right? So you can do your Airbnb comfortably without having to worry about getting a fine or anything for doing less than 30 days, even though it's in Sarasota County. The city overrules the county for that aspect. So that's what's also bringing a lot of investors in here, is the lower affordable house prices that they can build new construction or buy a house, and then also rent it out on Airbnb too. So that's just another point here of why so many people are deciding to move to Northport. And the other thing too to touch on is the overall school systems. Now, once again, these school system ratings are not personally by me. It's actually by niche.com. So this is not my personal opinion. This is just based on professional polls and professional ratings on there. And in Northport, there's about 5 different elementary schools scattered throughout Northport. And there's about 2 middle schools, right? So we have Heron Creek Middle School, and then we have Woodland Middle School too. Both, according to niche.com, are both B+ rated schools. And then in terms of a high school in Northport, you have the Northport High School for the entire Northport area, and that is rated a B on niche.com. But what's interesting, and I think you guys will find interesting, is that Sarasota County School District, they've actually been buying up chunks of land here in Northport. And they buy it, I think I've looked, and there's about 3 different chunks of land that I found that the Sarasota County School District has actually bought for future schools. Reason being is that they see the potential in the growth of Northport. So when they see that, they're already planning out other things in terms of putting in more fire stations, more police stations, stuff like that, right? They're ready for that exponential growth that Northport is set to have, predictably. By other people as well. So that's another thing to note, is the school districts, even though there are schools currently in Northport, Sarasota County School District is looking to add a few more as the population grows in Northport. Now that kind of covers the school side of aspect of stuff, but now let's talk about distances to things. For example, let's talk about distances to grocery stores. So no matter where you are in Northport, except if you're in this like upper right hand corner, for example, east of 75 or north of 75 maybe, if you're in this area, you're literally, as you can see, there's one Publix here, but you're probably only about 10 minutes away from a grocery store, whether that be Walmart, Target, Publix, that kind of grocery store. You're only about 10 minutes away depending on where you're located. So, grocery stores are very close in proximity. So you don't have to worry about that. And then in terms of beaches, now this is where it's a trade-off, right? Northport is a little bit more affordable. However, the beaches are a little bit further away. So there's pros and cons to everything. And the first thing being is that the beach from Northport, the closest beach is either going to be Venice Beach right here or Minnesota Key Beach right there. And they're both about 30 minutes away from this area of Northport. So depending on where you are, you're looking at about 30 minutes to the beach. So that's one thing to consider. Same thing with Venice. If you're looking to go into Venice, right? Venice right here, downtown Venice, this is where you can go to the historic downtown part of Venice. You can check that out. You can walk directly actually to the beach. It's only a few blocks from downtown Venice, which is super nice. Nice walking trails from downtown to the Venice beach. So you can go there, get ice cream, stuff like that. That's about 30-minute drive from Northport, so not bad at all. But this is where you can go water. You can do your water sports, stuff like that, or you can head down to Minnesota Key and also do water sports and go to the beach too. And then in terms of Sarasota, Sarasota's 45 minutes away from Northport as well. So if you want to, you just hop on 75 and you head all the way north into Sarasota. That's about 45 minutes to downtown Sarasota, not over here, Bee Ridge area. What makes Northport really special and unique at this moment is a lot of people don't know this, but Wellen Park is being built up right now in the Venice area, or in the Northport area, I should say. It has a Venice address, but it's really in Northport. Wellen Park. Wellen Park is just like Lakewood Ranch. So if you guys know what Lakewood Ranch is, it's this big master plan community right here that has been fully grown with golf courses, residentials, as well as commercial development too. So now they kind of want to do that. Same exact thing here in Wellen Park. So now Wellen Park, if you guys haven't seen my other videos, Wellen Park is going to be made up of 23,000 houses and about 60,000 residents when it's fully built out. There's about 10 to 13 different housing developers in this already. Once again, it is going to be more HOAs, similar to Lakewood Ranch. However, you're going to have a lot of amenities here. For example, they are building a downtown dedicated area for Wellen Park. It's supposed to be completed winter of 2022, spring of 2023. And this is where you're going to be able to go shopping, dining, restaurants, everything like that. Plus, they're going to have a 40-acre recreational lake as well around that downtown area. But what's nice is that it's going to be very close to Northport, right? It's only a 15-minute drive to Wellen Park. So if you want to go for a date night or you want to take your family out to restaurants, nice restaurants, Wellen Park is right there, 15 minutes, not far at all. But there are also other restaurants along US 41 right there that also have restaurants. But Wellen Park is definitely going to be something to watch out for, which is going to be great for the area. And it's going to have my predictions for this. Now, this is just my predictions based on what I saw, what happened with Lakewood Ranch, and kind of what I'm thinking what's going to happen with Wellen Park. So same thing with Lakewood Ranch. It became the #1 master plan community in the entire United States, basically. And what happened was there's so many people that flocked to Lakewood Ranch, right? Drove up real estate prices. House prices now in Lakewood Ranch are $700,000+ right now for a decent house. What happened was once that fully got built out, people started expanding into different parts. So now builders are going north of Lakewood Ranch, east of Lakewood Ranch, and really expanding because people want to be in that Lakewood Ranch area for the master plan amenities. Same thing like what Wellen Park has going on too. So that's my prediction. What's going to happen with Wellen Park is once it gets fully built out in about 5 to 6 years or so, that is what's going to be pushing everyone from Wellen Park into South Venice, which still has a lot of room for growth, and definitely into Northport as it all spills over, which is going to potentially drive up real estate prices as well. Same exact thing that happened to Lakewood Ranch. But once again, that's just my prediction, just based on history of Lakewood Ranch and stuff like that, why so many people love it. And it's basically selling out as fast as they can be building these houses right now. Some developers here in Wellen Park are pre-selling, but a lot of them are just building and then they're selling them on inventory, and there's really nothing available, so you got to be put on a wait list. But that's typical new construction unless you want to build custom. But that's kind of the gist of Wellen Park right there. If you want to know more information, just drop comments in the comment section. I can answer those for you as well. But that's kind of the gist of Northport, and kind of why so many people are deciding to move to the Northport area versus looking in Sarasota and going other places, right? So I hope that kind of gave you a little bit more clarity on why Northport is so explosive right now in growth. And I hope you guys, if you guys have any questions, just remember to put them in the comment section. But if you have any questions regarding purchasing a lot or anything like that, we can get that taken care of from you. If you would looking to build a custom house, we can do that too. But yeah, that's kind of the overall pros and cons of living in Northport versus going into Sarasota. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and checking out what Northport has to offer. So that kind of wraps up and sums up why so many people are deciding to move to the Northport area. So after seeing this video, what did you guys think of the overall pros and cons of moving and living in the Northport area? I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are. If you guys would actually move there yourself, put them in the comment section down below. But once again, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to comment that. But then also, don't be afraid to reach out via my contact information up here at the screen or also in the description down below. But once again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you guys all on the next video.